Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. It is me, Desiree, and today is all about Alocasias. So I love Alocasia. It's definitely one of my favorite genuses or varieties. I don't know the right word, but it's one of my favorite types of plants to collect and have and love and enjoy. They are just so beautiful. There's so many different kinds, so many different leaf textures and structures, like I can feel them right now. And I just want to share with you my collection, how I care for them, if I have any pests or anything like that, how I take care of that, and just kind of just revel in the beauty of Alocasia together. So let me grab the first one I ever bought, the Alocasia Amazonica. So this funny looking boy, this was the first Alocasia I ever purchased. I didn't know what it was when I saw it, but look at it. Wouldn't this leaf just take your breath away if you saw this on a plant in the store? Like, how does that grow in real life? It's crazy. I found this at the grocery store at 𝐈'𝐦 and I had never seen a plant like this in real life ever, and I felt like this, and I beelined towards it. It was sitting at the register and I thought, is somebody buying that? Oh my god. I carried it around the store with me for about half an hour. I just put the plant on the shelf and I was just looking up online, care for this. I didn't even know what it was called, so I had to look that up, and it seemed like it was going to be the most difficult plant in the world. Like, what I have found in my little research I did on YouTube and Google and blogs and stuff, there's always people that will try to like scare you away from buying certain plants, and it seems like Alocasia is one of those types of plants that people are always like, don't get them, they're full of spider mites, they're pest magnets, they're too fussy, you need humidity, like it's a whole thing. But I went for it anyway. I bought it anyway. I did buy a humidifier for it because I thought I needed to, because everyone told me to, or everybody online. And I think what's more important for Alocasias than humidity is light. I have found in my 1 year of owning Alocasias, I have found the light is the thing they need the most, and moist soil. Humidity, they could take it or leave it, because I have found that mine are thriving a lot better without the humidity than anything. And I'll just kind of share that as I go with each plant. So this one is not doing so good. It only has 3 leaves left because I moved it. I used to have it in here right on this shelf. It sat there all the time and it was doing great. But I moved it into the living room, and it's like, it's not getting as much light as it needs. And I don't know why I moved it in the first place, but I don't know, I just felt like it. And a lot of leaves immediately fell off. So it's in like a low light situation there, but I moved it in here just yesterday, so I'm hoping it's gonna do a lot better. I have a bunch of plants on a little table right there underneath the window, and that window is a west-facing window. It gets light all day, and especially in the afternoon, just bright light, like so much light that the leaves are really warm in the afternoon, and the plants just seem to love it. All the ones on the shelf there are always just thriving away. So that's this one. It was my first one ever. I babied the heck out of this, but I have found that the least I do, or the less I do to them, the more they're happy, you know what I mean? So for example, I repotted this. I switched out the soil because everybody online, everybody and their grandma will tell you, you need to make chunky soil mix and chunky bits and make it really chunky and airy for good airflow and water drainage and whatever. And although that's all good and well, and I have made mixes like that, I love just mixing it up, it's really fun, I don't think every single plant needs to be in that kind of environment. In my experience, the Alocasias, the 2 that I had repotted into that chunky mix, including this one, they just get infested with fungus gnats. I find that these bark pieces, they just stay wet all the time, and they don't really dry out. I just don't really get it. So this one did have fungus gnats. I've put like mosquito bits in there and stuff, and they've gone away. But I know you're probably yelling at me, but I keep pretty much all of the Alocasias I have in the soil that they came with from the store. And they seem to love that environment, and I'm not going to repot them into a chunky mix just because people tell me to. You know, I'm going to do what the plant wants, and the plant wants a thick, dense, whatever it came with in the store. I don't know, my opinion, that's it. So I love this one. It's a beautiful, and I'm hoping it does better here in the in this room. But I had to buy this. I had to buy another one. And when I brought this home 2 days ago, my boyfriend was like, don't you already have one like that? And I said, not like this. This one is so full and beautiful. So it is the same kind. It's also an Amazonica. Although on here it says Alocasia Polly, so maybe it's not going to get as tall or as big. I don't know. I'm hoping that this one's going to do really well in this room. I'm not going to move it like I did the other one. Going to give it as much light as possible and just hope it continues to thrive. So this next little beauty is the Alocasia Silver Dragon. This was a wish list plant. Look at this one. Look at this beautiful color. It's like a green silver. It's like a thick feeling plant. You would think this is fake. Like it feels like pressed leather or like suede or something. And although the top of the leaves on this plant is really beautiful, the underside is just as beautiful. It's this bright green with these red veins. Like if the plant grew this way, like if this was the top of the leaf, I think that'd be even more cool. Like that'd be so beautiful. This plant is beautiful. It was Costa Farms. It has one of these pots and it's in the soil it came in and it's doing just fine. This one I have in the front living room and you can tell which way the light is. I have one of these right in front of the window and one is on a shelf a little ways away. And both of them will just stretch their whole little plant bodies to reach the light source. So this one, I just turn it, like I'll put it back this way and then in a couple days it's gonna be facing that way, and same thing, I just kind of flip it around. I love this one. It seems to be so easy so far. As far as watering goes for these plants, I don't let any of them get bone dry. I've just found that when they do get dry, stuff like this starts to happen, like this little crisping of the leaves, and the leaves will start curling up as well. So if I pick it up and it's light, I've waited too long. I do use a moisture meter for a lot of plants, but these ones I use my fingers because I feel like I just already know when it needs to, I don't know, I just feel like I know these ones a little better than the moisture meter does. So I'd say I wait till it's like halfway dry and then I water it. I completely drench it, soaking, sopping wet in water, and then I leave it like that till it gets that dry again. But yeah, so far so good with this one. I have two, like I said, and they're so beautiful. The next one here is this absolute stunner. This is an Alocasia Pink Dragon because the stems are pink and it's really cool. So when the sun is coming into this room in the afternoon, they like glow, like you could see through them. They're so pretty. The leaf, of course, is just absolute gorgeousness. This one grows like a cup. I don't know if you can tell how it's like folded up like this. I guess you could kind of see with that one. And I think it's really cool. I don't know, just a different kind of thing. And I actually thought something was wrong with this one because the other ones I have, they have flat leaves, but this one grows like kind of cupped up, if that makes any sense. This one has gotten so tall since I got it. I found this at Smith's, our local grocery store, for $5. It was $5 because the pot that it was in was all broken. So it was $5 and I thought, oh my god, my first time ever seeing an Alocasia Pink Dragon in real life and it's $5, I about had a heart attack. This one is probably one of the easiest, not just Alocasias, but one of the easiest plants I have at all. Alocasia has turned out to be so easy and not what everybody says. Like I've watched tons of YouTube videos of people saying like how difficult they are. I'm never buying these plants again, and my Alocasia care guide, and then the whole time it's like you need humidity, you need to put them in a humidity dome, you need all this stuff, and they make it seem so difficult and kind of scare you away from the plant. But I say just buy it. Just buy the plant and try it. You never know if it'll work. So I live in New Mexico, in Albuquerque. It's dry heat here. We don't have humidity in our air. If we get like 1% humidity, we all freak out because it's so humid. So I got dry air here, so there's no just ambient humidity kind of helping these plants out. They're just doing fine on their own. And I think that they're way easier than people say they are. So if you see one and you want it, just get it. Just get it and try it. What I think the two main things with these plants are a ton of light. They really like light. I don't have any of them outside. None of them get direct sun, like outside sun. They do get sun filtered through the window, I guess. There's no shade on that window, and they get direct sun rays on their leaves in the afternoon through the window, and I think they've been doing really well with that kind of light. Make sure they don't get dry as a bone, but as far as I can tell, they don't really need humidity, even where I live where it's really, really dry. So don't let that scare you away from trying out an Alocasia. Just get it. Just get it and try it. It's fine. No one's gonna say anything. Let me get another one. This little beauty here has turned into one of my favorites. It's an Alocasia Black Velvet. Look at this, so beautiful. It's so dark green that it looks black, and in this lighting it's super cloudy outside and it was raining earlier, so that kind of like bright light from the clouds, this looks like it's black. It's so gorgeous, but it's like the darkest green you've ever seen in your life with these light veins. Oh my god, can you get any more beautiful? Can you tell which way the window is? This is one I actually had on that table right underneath the window, but I moved it because I wanted to put my next plant there because it was stretching out all crazy trying to reach the light. So I switched them out, and now this one's like, well, why'd you move the window? The window's over there. I want to be over there. So this is one of the ones that I repotted when I got it because I didn't know really anything about alocasias, and I thought, this soil is so wet and everyone makes chunky mixes for all their plants, and I made a chunky mix for this plant, and guess what happened? It hated life. All of the leaves fell off except for one leaf, and I thought, oh my god, what did I do? So I went and bought another one, and I did an experiment, and I kept one plant in the soil that I made and one plant in the soil it came in. Guess which plant did 1,000 times better? The one in the soil it came in from Home Depot. I left it in that soil, it grew leaves left and right, it really filled out. And so I decided to combine these. There's two different plants in here. The one that had the one leaf and then the one that I left in the soil. And when I combined it with just the soil from the store, it was doing great. It grew this leaf right away, it's putting out this leaf, and before it was just the one leaf. So I don't know, I don't think there's anything wrong in the soil that comes in from the store. There are some plants though I buy and the soil seems like it's made out of straw or something. Those ones I will repot, but for the most part, I'm fine with it. As long as the plant is doing well, I'm not gonna go out of my way to repot it or make any super chunky mix. Although I love making a chunky mix and getting your hands in there, not every plant needs it, and alocasia is definitely not one that needs a chunky, airy mix, in my experience, in my opinion. This one's super beautiful, super easy. I see these at Home Depot all the time now. They're always $12, they always look great, and you know, they're amazing. I love them so much. So what do we have left? Ooh, the Maharani. Actually, before we talk about this one, let me grab this other one that I'm pretty sure I'm gonna forget about. This is one I actually always forget is an alocasia just because of how it looks. It's an Alocasia Polly. So it has the same leaf shape and structure as the Amazonica, but on a teeny tiny little scale. It's tall. You can tell where the light source is. It's that way. And I love this one. It's really cute. I moved this into the other room. It used to be in here. It used to sit right there just happy. I don't know why I moved it. But I moved it because it's right behind my makeup brushes and it was getting full of like residual sparkles and stuff. So I moved it into the living room. It's where the Amazonica was, the one that has 3 leaves, and it quickly lost a bunch of leaves in there too. So I think it's just not getting enough light in there. So I moved it back in here and I'm hoping it's gonna just, you know, do a little better. This leaf here is about to fall off. But I love this one. I think it's so cute. And I see fuller ones at the store every now and then, but I'm like, no, I'm just gonna love my one and, you know, love him and enjoy him. And hopefully it'll do better here in this room because I love him. He's so cute. And I love these tall stems with this tiny little leaf on them. They're so cute. I'm piling them all up here on the floor and I'm like, how am I even gonna get out of here in a minute? Ooh, this one. Oh, I love it. This is an Alocasia Maharani. I know it's growing crazy. Look at it, how it's growing. It's getting so tall and so funny looking. So this one I used to have on a shelf here against his back wall, and it was growing like the whole entire plant was stretching towards the window, and I thought it was gonna tip over because it was always just like every single leaf was stretching towards the window like this. You could see them here. And I was like, oh my god, I gotta move that plant. So I moved it to the shelf that's right underneath the window, and within just a few days, a lot of these stems started standing straight up. I even carried this into the living room and showed my boyfriend. I was like, look at this plant. Remember how it looked before? And he was like, oh yeah, it looks way better now. Anyway, it looks way better now. It's growing a lot taller and it's like wanting to get towards the sun, which I really like. This is another plant that has this, let me find a nice leaf to show you. This leaf here is about to fall off. I was gonna cut it off, but I thought I'd just leave it till it falls off naturally. This is one of those plants that has like, it feels like it's fake. It feels like it's made of leather or suede that's like pressed and bound or something. Beautiful texture, like not only just to feel it, but it has tons and tons of little like ridges and veining in there that is just a work of art. I got this at Lowe's for $15. It was just about this big when I got it. It's grown several leaves since then. Like this one here is brand new. It's putting out a leaf right here, and leaves fall off and grow at such a rapid rate. Like I don't mind that this one's gonna fall off because another one will grow right away. I don't know what happened here. I don't know. It just kind of got this spot one day and it got crusty right there and then it fell off. I don't really know what that is, but it never took over the rest of the leaf. It's been like that for a long time now. and that's just kind of how it is. I don't know. I'll leave it there till it naturally falls off because it seems like it's just cosmetic damage. I don't know. I have been seeing these at Lowe's lately, and I saw one the other day and I was like, oh my god, an Alocasia Maharani, and my boyfriend was like, do you have one like that already? And I said, yes. And he goes, is it the one with the holes in it? And I said, you don't know anything about anything. And I'm hoping somebody bought it because there were two there that looked really good, and I hate when I see a really nice plant like this there that's all wilted and gross and ugly, and I think, oh, why didn't someone buy it? You know, because this is like a really good find for Lowe's, and I think, I don't know, I hope someone bought it. It's getting so hot and humid in here, like I'm telling you, it's probably 4% humidity outside. I feel like I'm dying. So I do have two left. There are two that I just bought today, so I'm very excited to show you. But first, let me tell you about one that I did have that did get spider mites, and people say that alocasias are spider mite magnets. None of these ones that I've showed you here have ever had a pest, like no pests at all. One of them did get fungus gnats, and it's the one that I repotted with the chunky bark mix. But that bark, I hate that bark so much because these plants like moisture. They don't want to be dried out, so I'm watering it, I'm wetting that bark over and over. The bark does not dry out that fast, and there are fungus gnats everywhere. I did put some mosquito bits in it, and it seems to have taken care of it, but I do kind of want to switch that soil out because I don't like that bark in there. And then the other one I did have that did get spider mites was Alocasia 𝐀𝐥𝐵. I didn't know that it was an alocasia at the time, but I have learned since then that that is what it was. That plant loved the light. I actually had it in the windowsill, touching the window all summer in this west-facing window, and leaves were just growing left and right. It was so beautiful to see. But one day I went to water it and it was dusty, and I thought, well, that's weird. It's like a weird kind of dust. I tried to wash it off, it wouldn't really come off, and just over time I realized they were spider mites. I had never had that experience before, so I didn't know that's what it was. I cleaned them off, what I thought was cleaning them off. They came back, I cleaned it, it came back, just this routine. I had never used an insecticidal soap or anything like that before, so I didn't even know those existed. But eventually the plant was just overtaken by spider mites. I threw it out because I didn't want any of my other plants to get spider mites. So that plant is no longer with us, but none of these other ones have ever had spider mites. I do wipe the leaves down when I water them. So as I'm kind of sitting it down to water, I get a little wet cloth and I wipe the leaves off. So maybe that's kind of helping, just a little preventative something. But none of the other ones have had pests at all, which is fine with me. I'm happy with that. So that's kind of my care for these plants as well. Don't let them dry out completely. Don't let them get dry as a bone, but also don't keep them super wet. I let them get at least halfway dry. I test with my finger, and then I water them completely drenched, soaking wet. They love light, absolutely love the light. They will stretch towards the light. Give them as much light as you can that's not bright, that's not direct sunlight, and they will just thrive for you. And you don't need a humidifier, like it's fine. Just let them acclimate to your house. It's gonna be okay. If I can make these grow in my super dry desert heat here, you're gonna make them grow in your house. It's fine. So let me show you the other two I just picked up today. This, oh my god, this took my breath away. I found this at Home Depot today. It's an Alocasia Zebrina, and these stems are just gorgeous. They're like a light color green with this red kind of like marbling. They're so beautiful. And I feel like it's probably called Zebrina for like zebra or something. I don't know. This leaf here, I'll just pull it off. It had one leaf that wasn't doing well, but the rest of the plant looked super healthy and gorgeous. I can't believe this plant exists. It's beautiful. I mean, look at this perfect leaf. I got this at Home Depot. It was $12.98. And, well, actually, you know what? It says Alocasia sarian. But I feel like this is Zebrina, isn't it? I am going to keep this in the soil it came in because I've had great experience with the soil that it comes in with all my other Alocasias. So I'm sorry if you're yelling at me right now. It's what's working for me. It's working for my plant, so I'm going to keep doing it. Really beautiful plant. Oh, it's so gorgeous. And now that I see this one, I did have an Alocasia stingray at one time. And I didn't really know how to take care of Alocasia because the only one I had was my Amazonica, the one with the 3 leaves. And I saw them at Albertsons, and I'm hoping so bad they get another delivery like that. Because one day I just walked into the store and it was flooded with these really crazy cool Alocasias, including the Zebrina. I bought the stingray because it was just, I had never seen anything like it. It was beautiful. I didn't know that it didn't want to be dried out. I didn't know it needed so much light, and I had it right here in this little corner next to me every day. And every day I'd see it and I'm like, why isn't that plant just thriving away in this dark corner? It's dry as a bone. Why does it hate its life? And I want to say that plant lasted like 2 weeks and it was gone. So now that I feel a lot more confident with Alocasia, I really want a stingray again, and I really hope they get them at the grocery store because it was a really good deal. Is this one, and this is called an Alocasia Hilo Beauty or Hilo Beauty, but I think this looks like a caladium. Like, it feels like a caladium, it looks like one, it walks like a duck, it acts like a duck. I think it's a caladium. But it says Alocasia on it, but I don't know. I'm gonna treat it like a caladium. It's beautiful. I mean, look at this. I got this also at Home Depot. It was also $12. I'm gonna keep it in the soil it came in. I'm gonna treat it like a caladium just because that's what I'm feeling instinctually. Like, that's what it is. So I love it. So far so good because I've had it for like 2 hours. So I love it very much. I'm gonna keep it on that table right there and give it a lot of light, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's my new one. And I think that's it. I've talked your ear off about my Alocasias, but yeah, I love Alocasia so much. I feel very confident with the care now. Unless it's like some crazy exotic one that I'm never gonna find here, like the Cuprea. I want a Cuprea. Oh my God, they look like they're made of oil. Like if you touch it, it'd be like greasy. I want one of those ones. But as long as it's not like a super crazy, wacky, exotic one that's $1 million, I think these are super easy. Give them light, give them water, they're gonna be fine. You don't need a humidifier. But that is it. Let me know what your experience with Alocasias has been. I would love to know. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching this long video. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and I will see you later in another planty video. Goodbye.